Welcome to Let's Talk Money. I'm Rebecca Powers, your host, here with Mark Provenzano of Hedged Private Wealth. Great to see you again, Mark.
Good to see you, Rebecca.
Again, in the news, market volatility, high gas prices. We see it every time we go to the pumps.
Yes.
What do you tell your clients about the high interest rates? You know, they always tell you, oh, just ride the roller coaster, it'll be fine. But when you're 60, you really don't have time to do that anymore. So how do you give your clients such peace of mind?
Very true, Rebecca. You know, we face the problems we have, we don't deny them, and we discuss, when they come into my office, we'll discuss what's causing these problems. And we see what inside of their portfolio maybe we could adjust, and usually there always something is we could adjust to maybe take a defense stance against that.
Gotcha.
So, you know, we try to reassure our clients when they come in, it's going to be a very easy environment. We're just going to be talking like we are here. They'll get to know me, I'll get to know them, and that's really where it all starts, because remember, as a fiduciary, it's all about you.
Right, you have an oath as a fiduciary, which
Absolutely.
is different from just a financial planner. Fiduciary actually has to look out for the client. And because of that plan, and I know you and your wife and your whole team always talk about having that wonderful plan that no matter what happens, you can weather the storms because you've thought about these things. You've positioned your people. Let's talk about that. Give me an example of someone who maybe was in too high of risk and you noticed that and kind of position them for more safety.
Correct, Rebecca. And that's one of the things that, besides getting to know our clients, I usually go straight to the risk. And that's usually one of the reports that we generate for them, is a risk report, because without the risk report, we really don't know where they are at this phase of their life. And a lot of our clients are in that retirement phase,
Right.
which means the focus has shifted from accumulation to distribution. That's a very different, let's say, animal.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah,
And
let's
it's-
talk about that.
Yes.
Risk report. What exactly is the risk report?
Risk report is when we ask them to bring in their statements.
Okay.
We look at all of their holdings and we plug it into the models we have, the systems we have, the computer systems, and that generates us out usually a 1 or 2 page document.
Okay.
Which if we would just turn around and give it, you know, to our clients, it's going to look like a bunch of numbers.
Right, it'd be Greek to me.
It would. It usually is, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that, because you're not, you know, this is what we're trained to do. You're not supposed to know that, right?
Right.
So we'll go over that report with them, Rebecca, and we kind of break it down and show them where really your concerns should be. And that's what really starts, they start to open their eyes when they see the risk and they say, well, wait, have I been doing all the right stuff or have I not? And that's usually where we're here to help. That's what we're here to do. We're here to help our clients.
I think education is how you empower people. And I love that
Yes.
you really, and your wife as well, and your whole team, you say that education comes first.
Yes. You know, I'm glad you brought that up, because we like to educate. That's first and foremost,
Yeah.
okay, from the academic side. But we do find out that we do have some clients that they don't want to be educated.
Right, just do it for me. I
That's
trust
it.
you.
Yes, that's it.
You know what you're doing.
That's it. And you know, we do listen to them. We hear it. However, our stance and our team stance is, you have to know a little bit more, you know, and we'll take them to the nth degree to know exactly what's going on and what we see from our lens, and we break it down for our
Yes.
clients. And I like to always say that even on our first visit, our clients leave and they're smarter than what they were when they came in. Because that's what we want to do. Like you said, empower them. We want to empower them.
And the risk report, I think, when someone starts a job at maybe 20 or 30 and they say, how risky do you want to go? And you say, oh, very risky because I'm young. But a big box or someone that you have no relationship might not call you for 5 or 10 years. And you wake up one day and you're 50 years old and you've had all of your stocks in this very risky, you know, position. Has that happened? To most people, I would guess.
My goodness, I couldn't tell you how many times that happens with really big corporations, even our federal agencies. We speak with clients and no one ever, they say, no one has ever come and talked to us, Mark. I've sat here for the first 10 minutes of our conversation, you know, and I feel like I know more than when the benefits consultant when and if he or she comes in. So
Yeah.
yes, you're right on that.
Absolutely. So for someone trying to or thinking about retiring, is it ever too early to start saving? I think I know the answer what you're going to say to that.
Yes.
Is it ever too early to think about retirement?
No, it's not. And the reason is, especially when you get to that 5-year corridor,
Okay.
okay, when you're really approaching retirement, we all know what we should do before. We really do.
Yeah.
You work for a company, if they do have a 401k in place, or, you contribute, right? And then
Right.
they'll do their match, which you should take advantage of.
Yes.
Or you talk to your CPA, usually, and hopefully he'll encourage you to at least fund an IRA. A
Okay.
traditional IRA, or maybe possibly a Roth. And
Okay.
so, we see our clients coming to us. They've already acquired a substantial amount of assets. They have been saving, but you see, we get to that 5-year corridor, or they may be in retirement, and that's where the light switch flicks.
Okay.
Okay? Because
So the
we
real
have to act
changes.
differently.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I was going to say. What are the changes in that acting differently stage?
Yes, we must act differently, because just look at the current events of what's happening in our world
Yeah.
right now. We all know that. It's on any news station we go to. And we should try to be ahead of the curve on that. And we should react to that. And we have some great portfolios that actually take care and mitigate that interest risk factor.
And you mentioned IRA. Is that the same thing as a 401? Or
Yes.
What's the difference?
401, usually you can only obtain through an employer. Your IRA, you can open that up outside, with us, with a bank, or,
Gotcha.
So yes, that can be done on the outside.
Okay.
IRA is more personalized and individualized.
Gotcha. And 401k is more through whatever
Employer. Yes.
Okay, fantastic. We are here with Let's Talk Money and Mark Provenzano, Hedged Private Wealth. The number is 888-339-2048. Real quickly, we're going to go to break, but tell them what they can expect when they come meet your wonderful staff.
Yes, when you come meet our staff, we ask you to come. It's going to be a very relaxed atmosphere. And, for the next 25 callers, we're going to have something very special for you. We're going to provide you with a complimentary income report, risk report, and the most important, the written retirement income plan. So please give us a call and let us help you.
Absolutely. And we'll be right back more as we talk money.
As a good saver, you've been putting away money during your working years. Studies find that the biggest fear of retirees is running out of money. Market volatility isn't just the downward movement of stock prices, it's the size and frequency of change. The more dramatic the ups and downs, the higher the volatility. This can put savers who are newly retired or a few years away from being retired at greater risk. Today's generation of retirees is not receiving traditional pensions as our parents or grandparents did. Instead, we have retirement accounts such as 401ks or 403bs. These accounts typically expose your money to market risk. The last thing you want right before retirement is to lose a portion of the money you need for income. But how do you turn these accounts into a retirement income? Is it safe to keep all your retirement money sitting in the stock market? The last thing you want is to lose a portion of the money you need for income due to market loss. By working with a financial professional, you can learn how to turn a portion of your savings into an income stream for life and income for the life of your spouse if you're married. We all have moments in our lives when we wish we had taken action sooner. Don't let procrastination reign on your retirement parade. Act now before it's too late. Please call our office to set up your no-cost, no-obligation retirement income review today.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Money. I'm Rebecca Powers. So happy to be with you with Mark Provenzano. Just a wealth of information. You've been doing this forever. We were talking about the difference between a 401k and an IRA. Now let's talk about some of those things that you can move, the conversions that you can do to keep the money in your hands instead of sending it to Uncle Sam.
Yes, that's correct. And there's quite a few strategies we use, Rebecca, to accomplish that, okay? Because as we all know, or we should know, that the 401k plan was created in 1978, right, as a means of helping out the employee, we thought. Which
that's
it does.
the big trick.
It does. And
Well, it helped the employers not pay us anymore.
Yes.
But anyway, go on.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
no, you're absolutely
You
correct.
taught me that.
You're absolutely correct. But, we like to look at, say, a conversion to a Roth.
Okay.
Now, It sounds easy. Well, let's just convert to a Roth, right? But there is many factors that need to be considered with that. And that's why we ask you to come into our office, sit down, let's see if that conversion is right for you.
Okay.
Because, one of the biggest things, and we'll just, get this out, is that you have to have the available cash flow to actually do the conversion.
Gotcha.
Why? Because taxes are due on it. Remember, your 401k money has been growing income tax deferred. So
Okay.
now you're telling the government, I'm going to take all that money that has grown, interest has been gained on it. We're going to now go to a non-taxable security, a Roth. So what do you think? We need to pay the taxes on that. And rightfully we should, because that money has grown.
But you'd rather pay the taxes now when it's a smaller amount, and right?
Yes,
And
yes.
taxes are lower. You've taught me that too, instead of paying it
Yes.
later when taxes are higher.
Absolutely. And viewers, that's why we ask you to come in. Come in and sit down with us, or make sure you sit down with a fiduciary that can give you an honest, upfront answer that is not skewed in our side. It's the best for you, and that's what you want.
Right.
Because you need to know these are very, very important considerations to take. And, like you mentioned at the first part of our segment here, taxes are really low now, but you see what's happening in our current state of the U.S.
It's got to go up.
Because
of our debt, right? Our national
It
debt.
really does. Look at the U.S., the debt clock, 31 trillion. We just added with COVID another over 8 trillion. So somebody's got to pay that. So this conversion, if the cash flow is there to actually substantiate paying the taxes, it may be a good move.
Now, a lot of people, I think, and I can speak from personal experience, the first time my husband and I went to see someone who wasn't a fiduciary, unfortunately, was a financial planner here locally. And it's scary. And I think because we weren't educated in school, that it is scary for most people. You can have a lot of money, but I don't know where my statements are. I'm embarrassed I didn't save as much as I should have. Are they
Right.
going to judge me? Don't you feel like, I just want to let you know that a lot of people feel that way. Do people share that with you? And then they're so relieved when they leave your office, right?
Your last sentence is so true, Rebecca. They are, no matter who they are, once they do leave, they tell us, "We are so glad we came to see you, Mark."
Yeah.
And I'll say, "I knew you would, but why?" I ask them why. They say, "Well, it just seems like you have it all figured out, and that's one less thing we have to do." I said,
Right.
"That's exactly what our job is to do. We
Exactly.
do all the hard work behind the scenes. We give you the finished product, and at that point, you viewer, you're still picking. You're still making the choice.
Right.
We're just giving you options on what to do."
And solid advice. So let's talk about your education a little. I know we've said it in past shows, but your wife, Carrie, and you, and I don't know if she told me this, I don't know if he knows I know this, they met at a local bank. They were in a money room, and that the Brinks trucks would come in from the CTA with all the, dimes and quarters we used to use for the buses and the streetcars.
Yes.
And you and Carrie were in the little change room at the bank
everyone, yes.
counting change, and she said you were strong and you would help her pick up the heavy bags of quarters, and that's how y'all met. I
Well,
think that is precious.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was the only guy amongst 13 females.
So you had your pick.
So I had, I got all of the.
You got the smart one.
I got the grunt work too, so I did it for the ladies, which I have no problem with. But yes, my education, I do have a BS in accounting.
Mm-hmm.
I am a registered investment advisor. So is Carrie.
Mm-hmm.
And we chose to go the fiduciary route because we didn't want anyone telling us from above what to sell, when to sell, what to offer, what not to offer. We wanted it to be our analysis for our clients. And really, ultimately, it's their wishes.
Because either one of you or Carrie could have gone and worked for the big box,
Oh,
right?
yeah,
Right out of the
absolutely.
gate, made $100,000 when you were
times.
25 and
Many
been
times.
set. But you
Many
purposely
times.
chose to go a little bit of the harder route, to be self-employed, to have your own personal family business.
And, Rebecca, just like you said, very
Yeah,
good point, very
yeah.
good point. We chose.
That's right.
The big boxes are great places. They are great. They're very good places. However, it's the select few that choose to go a different route where we're held accountable now.
Yeah.
We're not hiding behind any shield, per se, with the big boxes.
Exactly.
Everything that we do, we're accountable for. So
And you're
what do you
very
think
nice
we're going to do?
Right, but you're very nice to say that they're great, they're wonderful. In my experience, that was not my experience.
We hear that.
Because it's a cookie cutter. You're either A, B, C, D, E, or F, and then clink, clink, clink. And so to me personally, and I think a lot of consumers, they're not so great. But that is just my opinion.
Right. Right.
I mean,
There's a place.
Someone could call you and say, hey, should I buy a car? You said someone called you from a car lot once.
Sure did.
Hey, should I buy this car? Should I rent or should I purchase it? Should I lease?
That's
and
right.
So no advice is too small. No question is dumb.
That's correct. And that was done, just to let you know, that was done on a Saturday too.
See?
I took the call.
Yeah.
That's when we always take our calls. Same
Well,
phone number, over 30 years.
Really?
Yes.
I know my parents had the same phone number in Bucktown since 1962. So cute. So empowered and educated, that's what we're going to talk about next, how you can become educated as much as you want, how you can become empowered to make your decisions, and how you can meet the Provenzano family right after this as we're talking money. Give that number for me one time, please, Mark.
Sure. It is 888-339-2048. And viewers, for the next 25 call-ins, we're going to offer you a complimentary portfolio analysis, which will include a fees report. We're going to look at the written retirement income plan, which is also most important. That is the most important part. And we're going to look at the risk you have, which is so important to you. So please give us a call.
No obligation, no
obligation.
cost. Leave your checkbook at home. We'll be right back.
How confident are you in your current financial plan? Do you know with certainty how the recent market volatility will affect your future hopes and dreams? How much are you paying in taxes? And how much are you losing to unnecessary high fees? You didn't work to save this money so that you could spend your time worried in retirement. Now is the time to take charge of your finances so you can feel confident about your future. Call in during the next 30 minutes of today's show only to set up an absolutely complimentary, no obligation, full-blown financial review that will result in your own customized written plan that we're giving away complimentary to the first 10 people who respond. We'll start with a full-blown analysis of what you already have. By running a report to untangle how much you are currently paying in fees, how you're allocated for risk, and what it's costing to work with your current advisor. Next, we'll identify your goals. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Where do you want to go, and who do you hope to go there with? Is your current financial plan set up to get you there without mishap? Let's design a roadmap to create a financial plan you can follow with confidence. Get the piece that so many people are missing from their retirement. Find out how having a written plan can make a difference to your retirement dreams. Call now to schedule your complimentary, no obligation, full-blown financial review today.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Money. I'm Rebecca Powers here with Mark Provenzano from Hedged Private Wealth, right there in the Galleria, right off I-10. You know where it is, 7th floor, easy to find, and free parking, of course, and even if it's rainy. Or after hours, I hear that you work a lot. Even in the evenings, you're there.
Oh, yes. Fortunately and unfortunately, yes, we're there.
So guaranteed income, we know you need a plan. You need a good plan in your life and your business to get to where whatever your goal is. So let's talk about that guaranteed income, Mark. You cannot retire without knowing you can pay your bills each month. So how do we get there?
That is correct. And this is where I sort of bring out my degree, what I went to school for, right?
Okay.
You know, we look at the financial statements pretty hard, but the one that we center in on is the cash flow statement. What's going on for that retiree at this particular time of their life? And, you know, the smartest thing, and as we've talked before, Rebecca, when you know that all of your expenses are covered in retirement, usually health follows that. So that's a very important part. And we like to make certain that your monthly expenses are covered. And that's one of the things we help you uncover and make sure that's covered. And if you are slightly deficient in, say, income, we look at the ways possibly to boost that up to where now it is covered. You know, we make sure we have enough money.
So there are several different tools and ways and places you can dig.
Yes, yes, and those are highly individualized.
Sure,
Okay.
everyone's different.
They're highly individualized because some retirees may not like one way, or some may think it's really risky to go this way.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a structured product or an annuity. We don't know. Bonds, which are that's something we need to discuss at this day and age with bonds,
Right.
interest rates going up. Remember, bonds go down. So
Gotcha.
that's sort of something that may be on the table, but it may be off the table. That's why we ask our viewers to come in, have personalized attention with us. We'll each get to know each other, and then we can start going to work for you.
And look at every little piece of it.
Yes.
You mentioned health. Did you mean if you know your bills are paid, that your stress is gone, and so you live a more peaceful, healthier life? Is that what you're referring to?
That's exactly,
Yeah.
Rebecca, because there's studies, actually by the federal government and other outside agencies that show us that couples that retire with pensions, and remember, we know what a pension is.
Right. We don't have those anymore, really.
We don't.
Most of us.
We'll discuss that as well.
Yeah.
But the studies show that the retirees that have, we know, a guaranteed income coming in monthly that may be tailored to increase with interest. There is some
Sure.
products out there that will do that. They'll trail interest rates.
Okay.
When we have that, their health is actually better. That's what the studies show us.
Oh, I believe it.
And I can tell
Think
you
about
from
that.
talking to my clients, those who come in, knowing that my check's coming, Mark. My
Yeah.
check, just like you said, my check's coming every month. They're at ease.
It's wonderful.
They're at ease. You can tell that from just sitting with them.
And it's no surprise that they say what most divorces are caused. And when they ask people what caused your divorce, what is it? Money.
Yes. Yes.
Because think how stressful it is when you're, worried about how you're going to pay the bills. And it's, an elderly gentleman told me this once, I'll never forget it. He said, there's no romance without finance, darling. And I'll never forget that, right?
That's right, that's
How
right.
can you enjoy life and be romantic and have all these fun things if you're worried about not being able to pay the bills?
So true. I could not agree with you more. And that's one of the things that, when my clients come in to the office, we sort of go back in the time,
Okay.
timeline.
Yeah.
We say, listen, you've been through your accumulation phase when you were younger. You
Okay.
worked, you saved, you worked, you saved. Now you're at retirement. You shouldn't have to be worried about how much money you have each and every month. We should have all those fixed expenses covered.
Gotcha.
That should be covered. And that's just one of the things from the accounting profession that has taught me that in any good business, you can't operate any good business with deficiency month after month,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
You can't. You have to adjust something, and that's what we show you what to do. Either we adjust the income upwards, we try, but that's why we ask you to come in
Yeah. Do people ever realize that they had more than they thought?
all the time.
See, that's great. And I want people at home to understand that. A lot of times, and your wife has told me this too,
Yes.
you actually have a little more than you realize. Like, oh, I didn't even know what this was. And you find money.
Absolutely.
Give me an example of that.
We don't have enough of the show, but
I love
that.
That's good news. That's great news.
They'll come into us, and once we really start taking apart their
Yeah.
portfolio, like we said, we use our models, we put it into the computer systems, we generate reports. We'll find out that where their money was actually positioned, if we just did just a little bit different with it,
Yeah.
they have no worries.
That's
but they
awesome.
thought just doing that little bit different meant a whole bunch of risk. That's not the case. That's why we ask you to come in,
Yeah.
come see us, friendly visit, I promise you, very friendly, pleasant visit. We get to know each other, and we answer all of your questions right there on the spot.
Yeah, and you meet the whole team. Now,
Absolutely.
let's talk about Carrie's education. I know that
Yes.
she's been, obviously, you both worked in banks when you were in your early 20s,
Mm-hmm.
which is amazing. That's the last job I would ever want to do or would be good at doing. So what's her education? Did you go to school together?
We did. We started out early, and of course, things always change. One's got to pull off, and the other one's got to go
Right.
forward, right?
Especially when you got married and had a baby, but go on.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, but yes, we feel education is paramount, and that really shows forth in our daughter, which we have set her up for.
Yes.
She's already got her master's in accounting. She's not even 24 yet. Passed two
Amazing.
parts of the CPA, so she's on her way.
And she's beautiful,
Thank
too.
you.
So
Thank you for
Wonderful
that.
family.
Thank you.
And of course, again, the Galleria is so easy. Did you pick that location because you wanted to be able to serve the West Bank, the East Bank, uptown, like you wanted it to be nice and central?
Thank you for mentioning that.
Yeah.
But we did pick that location because it is so centrally located. And you know, if it is bad weather outside, you park right inside the building. Nobody ever gets wet. You know, it's not you're not beaten down with the sun.
You're not getting a parking ticket downtown or in the CBD?
Exactly. So yes.
For 20 minutes?
Yes, we did strategically find the Galleria spots, and
Yeah.
we have a great spot. It's really almost right below WGNOE Channel 38.
Oh,
So
fun.
we're right below it.
So you see the live trucks going out and everything every day?
We do.
And it's on the 7th floor, so right when you park,
7th
you go
floor.
into the Galleria, go right up, and when the doors open, the
Can't
office
miss
is
us.
right there.
Can't miss us.
I
It's,
need to
it's
come
the
visit.
whole big atrium, and you'll see WGNO 38 right up there, and we're
Okay.
right below them.
And you're
we're
right
by the
there.
security desk right there.
Okay.
Can't miss us.
Okay, great. And people can make an appointment. There's the number again, 888-339-2048. Of course, it's always pretty much an open door policy with the Provenzano family, but we do want you to make an appointment now so we can save you that. How long does it take? I say an hour, but what's that first? How long does it take for that first meeting?
Usually the first meeting will take about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. We try not to overdo it and give too much. However, if we find the prospective client wants to really,
Dig deep.
yes, we're there. That's how
Okay.
we are. You know, if you have a concern, a problem, we tell you if you can't make the appointment, just come in, come sit in the office, and I assure you, I will see you.
So they will personally meet you,
I will absolutely.
not just your staff. That's
Absolutely, but even once you
That's
become
important.
a client, yes, it is. When you become a client, you have a concern, come in. Even if there's nothing on the books, you come in. I know you're in the lobby. My
Right.
staff will tell me, my team, they'll tell me, and I will come approach you and we will discuss.
And if you're married, I think it's best. Some people come alone, but I think if you're
yes.
married, it is best to attend that first meeting together. And we only have a minute left. I can't believe it. But so we do say that if you are married, you should probably come together.
Yes.
But have your calendar when you call 888-339-2048. We're going to book you that time right away as soon as you call. And just tell them what they're going to receive, Mark, that complimentary offer you were doing today.
Yes, for the next 25 callers, and we will hold the lines open because we notice we have been getting many calls. You're going to come into a very pleasant setting. We're going to just talk. We're going to talk like Rebecca and I are doing. We're going to talk. We're going to discuss what's going on in your particular situation because everyone's unique. Now, what you will walk out with is a binder. It'll include quite a few different reports. It's going to be a fee report, an income report, possibly a Social Security report. We'll talk about that. And also, most importantly, your written retirement income plan.
Absolutely. And thank you so much, Mark, for always being so interesting. And thank you at home for joining us. We'll see you next time.